Ben & Jerry's Pistachio. When I asked my guest this week what his favorite ice cream was, he said pistachio because it rhymed with mustachio. The pistachio is also known as the happy nut or the smiling nut, and I think that sums up my guest perfectly. He's a little nutty, a little exotic, half Greek and half British. He's a woodworker who shuns power tools in exchange for some good old-fashioned hard work. His love of wood is almost as addictive as his personality. Greek Moustachio is bringing back this old-school style of woodworking one hand-planed piece at a time. I love just chatting with this man, but am truly excited to sit down with my bowl of Ben & Jerry's Pistachio and see where the nuttiness takes us. I'm Pape, and this is Ice Cream with Streamers. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ice Cream with Streamers. I'm Pape, and today's special guest is Greek Moustachio, also known as Greek, or Andreas, because he's not fancy. So hello, Greek. Welcome, my friend.
3 scoops. That's all you had. Half scoops.
I got like...
I've got the whole bloody tub.
I'm keto diet, man.
Who gives a crap?
Here, can we cheers? Can we cheers as we're streaming here?
Fine.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Ching.
All right, there we go. So hello, Greek.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing well, my friend. Thank you for being my special guest as we're trying out a new system here, a new setup here.
Thank you. And Queenie's there in the background, looking radiant.
As always. Hello, Queenie.
She's just scowled at me again.
Greek pistachio, says Swanee.
Greek pistachio, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we've chatted before. We're old hats at this fun thing here. So first off, we're eating. I'm eating pistachio ice cream here. What are you eating, Greek?
Chocolate, orange, and almond. So
good. We're sticking with format here, my friend.
Story chat. Paul goes, "What ice cream do you want?" I was like, definitely Haagen-Dazs pistachio. Paul sends me a message saying they were sold out. Queenie comes home because she was doing the shopping and was like, "They're sold out." So we've both got completely different ice creams now. We should just...
It's still pistachio. I'm still eating pistachio, so, you know.
I got almonds.
That does not rhyme with mustachio, my friend. That is that does not at all. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm enjoying.
It might take me a while, but I will find a way to link almonds with mustachio.
But this is actually a really good ice cream, I will say.
So it is. It's like, have you ever had Terry's chocolate oranges?
I have. Those are the ones you break, that you smash?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is basically an ice cream version of it. It is so good.
That sounds tasty. No, what I'm eating here is like Ben & Jerry's, and it's truly like a nice salty pistachio mixed in with a great vanilla ice cream. So
here's the question. How many calories for the whole of your tub? Do you know?
It's like 1,400.
Wow. 370 for the whole tub.
Yeah, see? Now you know why I got 3 measly scoops. So
your scoops are my whole tub.
Pretty much, yes.
I'm liking this already.
So Greek, I've asked you here to join my Ice Cream with Streamers. So not just so that we can enjoy some ice cream, but to actually have people get to know you a little bit better.
Or screaming with creamers.
Ice cream with creamers, yes. So while I enjoy my delicious Ben & Jerry's pistachio ice cream, and you enjoy your not that, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, who is Greek Moustachio?
Who is Greek Moustachio? So, well, Greek Moustachio is Andreas. Mum's English, dad's Greek, as everyone knows. I've got bladder problems, and that's what you can hear. It's not the tap. It's me just urinating on the floor. I apologize for that, Paul. It's kind of
I'm glad this is going somewhere else after Twitch here. So.
Sorry.
Love you, Queenie.
Paul says he loves you. Well, you two stop that. You're always flirting with each other.
Hey, you flirt with my wife when she's on, so.
Yeah, but how often do I ever see Lynn's? I hardly ever see Lynn's.
That's because you got that weird British time thing. It's like you live in a weird a zone of
it's
time
our
that's
time.
different.
We've got the meridian. It's our time.
Yeah, it's your language too.
we created the whole empire just so we could steal time.
Ah. And then you made a horrible show about it. It's only been on the air for 51 years.
Horrible show?
Doctor Who, my friend. Doctor Who. I'm gonna lose some viewers just for saying that. So
I'm not a Whovian, so it's fine. Right, yeah. So back to Greek. I'm kind of feeling a bit, what's his name from Gladiator?
Russell Crowe?
No, but the Roman, he's Spanish, isn't he?
Yeah, let's not go to the factual inaccuracies of Gladiator.
Husband to a wife, father to a son, commander of the 9th Legion.
This is Sparta? Yeah. I don't know. I've only seen that movie once. So
if you want me to go Greek, I'll start taking off my clothes.
No, please don't. This is a PG.
Oil.
This is a PG.
But I've already prepped the olive oil.
No, Queenie prepped the olive oil. So,
yeah.
Andreas.
That of three.
Not Andreas. Andreas. It sounds like a very American when you say Andreas. Isn't it Andreas? Isn't that like more worldly when you say Andreas? But that's not
I don't know.
That's not your name though. So, anyways, Greek.
Well, Andreas isn't my name. Do you want me to go get my birth certificate?
No, I said Andreas. Andreas. Because the one time I called you Andreas and Queenie was listening, she said, he's not that fancy. It's Andreas.
Says the woman from Birmingham. Birmingham.
So, oh wow. So I just gotta re-up on the sub there. So we'll deal with that one later. But anyways, so we're
getting sidetracked straight away.
Oh, we totally are. So as far as streaming goes, you've been streaming about as long as I have. I think we started within like a week or so of each other.
It was it beginning of November? So we're I think we're about 2 weeks away from our anniversary. Is that right?
Yeah. And so I mentioned that the other day on my stream, and they said, "So what are you giving away?" I'm like,
that's what I've had as well. Bloody cheapskates. Not what they can give to us, but we're sacrificing our time. How much money have you and I spent on new equipment?
Oh, I don't even want to think about that.
No, absolutely not. And we come up on our anniversary, and rather than saying, "Oh, this is so good, let's have a little," what are you going to give her? What are you going to give to us?
What have you done for me lately? Dun, 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 dun.
See, whenever I hear chat speak now, they have the voice of Gollum. Nasty fat hobbitses, give us the ring.
For really, let us get our stuff back. We need our precious.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. So my thought is,
give us the word. Give us the word. You struck us a dragon, says. We need the dragon, says.
No, I'm like, for our 1 year anniversary, can I get like 100 people to sub to me? 365 subs, I'd take that.
Oh yeah, I think that works.
It's a nice round number, So, but you started back in November, like I did, about a year ago.
Yes.
What was the impetus to start streaming? Why did you start streaming there?
Well, first and foremost, I'm not impotent. I got 3 boys. They are all mine. So I'd appreciate if you didn't cast dispersions on me like that.
I'm using the Queen's English there, using my penny words. So
your penny words.
Trying to sound more intelligent than I am. Use the word impetus.
Well, if you want to sound more intelligent, just drop the American accent.
Also, What was the impetus? I'll say.
What was the impetus?
What was the impetus for you to start streaming?
Or the impetus was I was a mod for Sock22, who's he's I don't know if he's going to get back into streaming. He did stream a lot of GTA roleplay.
Okay.
And talking to him and some of the other mods and the friends that we made. Obviously, you get chatting. What are your hobbies? And they found out about my hobbies with the historical reenactment and the woodworking and stuff like that. And they wanted to see it. And I had some other friends that wanted to see it as well. So I actually started streaming literally just to let friends see what I was doing. That's it.
Okay. I mean, I think that's fair. That's a decent enough reason.
It was the quickest and easiest way for multiple people around the globe to be able to watch and see what I do.
And speaking of what it is that you do, I know briefly in the intro there, I talked about it, and you are a woodworker, but oddly enough, I would say a non-traditional woodworker, but doing the most traditional woodworking. So
yeah,
explain.
Non-traditional in the sense that I haven't done an apprenticeship or anything like that. I haven't been taught the correct methods. I basically watched a heck of a lot of YouTube videos, spoken to people who know what they're doing, read books to learn how to do what I do.
So, but I say non-traditional in the fact that you don't use tools, power tools, electricity, which today would be considered traditional woodworking, is to sit and use, saws and everything to make life easier. You decided that I'm going to start streaming woodworking, but I'm going to do it the most difficult way I know how.
It actually does look like that. It's like I want to do woodworking because everyone's seen that I've got power tools, and it's like, what's the most awkward, long-winded way and to make myself look really idiotic and have the highest potentiality for injury and disaster.
I mean, that I would definitely agree with, but I don't think it makes you look idiotic at all. I think if anything, it helps us. You're using modern technology, i.e. the streaming, to bring out to the world this style of woodworking that is almost lost on people, and to demonstrate. I mean, like, one of my favorite things that you make is a chopping board. Okay, just a chopping board, and is for vegetables, meats, whatever, just a chopping board. But when you're done with it, you have literally made a block of wood.
Yes, but it's taken me a number of hours to make a block of wood.
A lot of hours. A lot of hours.
And I started out with a block of wood.
Right. So you made a block of wood, a smaller block of wood. And the thing is like, I have the power tools in my shop to do the exact same thing the modern way, which is with tools and sanding and stuff like that. And I could produce the piece that you produce in about 45 minutes. Yeah. But I've seen you take days to produce the same thing. But I will say...
This is really not sounding very good.
No, I'm getting to the compliment. I really, truly am here. I'm getting to the compliment.
Hurry up, man. Hurry up.
But what I've seen is that the finished product that you produce is... it's better. It's a superior product because you are not aggressively diminishing the wood. You're actually paying attention to it. And I think that's a thing that's lost on a lot of people. So when they see your product, when they see your product, what they see is they just see the block of wood. What they don't see is the process. So if it wasn't for streaming, I think that if you because you're selling your products, I think that if you were to sell your block of wood, and then you have the handmade price tag that goes with it, because we're all creators here, and we all have this, like, you know, the price of art. And they would see like a block of wood for the price that you would put out there, which is a decent price, and actually I think a little low for what you're selling. They wouldn't understand it. But because of streaming and the process that's there, and not just the process, but the knowledge that goes with it, and why you think the wood is the way it's being worked, I think that it adds to that. So there's a history, there's a basically your reenactment of wood from a period, and I think that is what makes what you do so damn special. So,
thank you. I mean, it's from my point of view, that there is a difference. I mean, any woodworkers here will tell you that if you get have you got an auto planer or anything like that in your shop? Yep. Okay, so you know that you can run a piece of wood through, and it will take off all the mill marks, and it'll get you to exact measurements within
millimeters.
What? Yeah, 5 minutes, something like that.
Sure.
We'll get you get the whole thing done. But it in a way, it hasn't respected the wood. It's literally just torn through everything because of the sheer ferocity and the power. Whereas when I'm picking the wood, I'm actually looking at the grain, looking at the angles. I've actually got when I'm planing it, even though my blades are razor sharp, if I'm not respecting the wood and going against the grain, it tears it up. It's like having an animal and stroking the fur backwards. You know how it goes all sticks up and it doesn't feel very nice. And when you do all that correctly with bladed tools, it actually lies all the fibers down like a lovely grass lawn, and you got the stripes in it. Stop grinning at me, fool. And I need to stop looking at you.
Right.
And then as the metal passes over, it polishes it, and I think it creates a luster and a smoothness to the wood that, as of now, is unmatched in modern machinery.
And I agree.
I think to a certain, it's like people who still nowadays prefer vinyl over MP3s. They prefer film cameras over digital cameras. You know, they still prefer that raw analog nature of their art.
Yeah, and I can totally see that. I know that, like, if I plane an object through my planer, and then run a sander, like an orbital sander, over it and smooth it all out, it's fuzzy, I guess is the best way to put it. It's not. It's missing something. And I think that's something that it is missing, is that plane, because when you're planing it, you're not going in there and sanding it smooth. You're planing it smooth, and then you get this finish to it that you don't necessarily get. I mean, I could run higher and higher grit sandpapers on it and stuff, but it's not going to give. It's still going to be that fuzzy feeling to wood, because I'm abrading the wood. I'm hurting it. I'm not respecting it at all. And I think that's an important aspect of what you do. That gets in there. So off the wood subject for a little bit. We'll get back to oiling your wood in a minute. But so Greek Moustachio, please explain that name. Where does Greek Moustachio come from? I mean, I understand the Greek part.
I actually have a prop I can show you. It explains it all. Hold on.
Please do. Please walk off the screen while we're in the middle of an interview. And then wander. There you go. Put me behind bars. That's creepy that you own a pillow of me. That's but I'm glad that he's decided to wander off, and in the middle of an interview. This is very much like Greek, guys. He just up and left me. This is going swimmingly. I just want everyone to know that you're gonna sit on my face. That's Oh,
hold on.
For real?
On your face. Okay. I'm joking, chat.
He's not joking.
I've lost it. I am joking.
So.
Okay. So you guys have seen me with my my knives and stuff like that, and how it's quite easy to lose them or damage them or them damage other things around them. I've got a friend who makes basically, you know, people collect these miniature horses. They're like super accurate horses. Well, she actually makes super accurate bridles and saddles and everything for them. So she does leather work and stuff like that. And she used to always call me Moustachio, because at the time I was doing World War II reenactment as well. And the British Army in World War II wasn't allowed to have beards. They were allowed to have moustaches, but not beards. So I was basically like that. I was beardless, but I had a tash. And she used to call me Moustachio. And she actually made me this kind of leather pouch where my knives and stuff can go. And on the front, she's actually embroidered Moustachio in there. And I've even got a leather moustache.
That's awesome.
So this is where I put my tools when I'm going out traveling. And so, excuse me. So when, I don't know anyone else, when you have, I don't know how many stupid accounts we've got, and they always say to yourself, give yourself a new password or give yourself a new nickname or whatever. And you're thinking, I don't know, I've already got 300 of them. And it literally, I just thought, Greek Moustachio. That's what I came up with. So that's it. It's basically, that's what I say. It's not so much a nickname as a description. I'm half Greek and I moustache, and so.
But I know that we had talked previously about possibly creating a business out of this woodworking that you're doing, and that you originally had thought about maybe possibly using your last name as the business name, but then I had mentioned to you, well, you're streaming, and your name in streaming is Greek Moustachio, so I think you're pretty much just now saddled with the name Greek Moustachio as being woodworking, and you've embraced that. I think that you've kind of run with it.
And I bought the domain names.
Good.
I bought the webs. I bought the Greek. I think it's GreekMoustachio.com. I've bought and other bits and bobs. So I'm just in the process of getting some stuff together.
You should buy GreekMoustache.io, because that would be hilarious. That's a thing. .io, and so you could have Greek Moustache EO, and that would be like your full. That'd be cool. That's neither hither nor thither. Look at me using words. Anyways, so,
that was old man joke.
Anyways, so you've been streaming.
Or as Dave would say, Jesus, Paul, Jesus,
right? Yes, and you have, but now embracing that, you have a wood burner that is in the shape of a mustache.
Yes.
That you use to brand your branded stuff now, which is really kind of cool. And you actually got that from another streamer, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, from Forge.
Well.
Yeah.
So, as a streamer, do you is this something that you see happening, like continuing to do down the road? I mean, is this something that like 4 to 5 years down the line that you plan on still doing?
Streaming or the woodworking, or both?
Yes, both.
Both and all. Okay. Woodworking, yes. I've been one of those people during life that I will like something for 6 months. I'll do it full bore, and then I'll get bored with it and move on to the next thing. And most of my life I've been like that, struggling to grab onto things in hobbies. The first one was basketball, and I was absolutely obsessed with it. But after I blew out both my knees, the consultant was kind of yeah, stop, or you're going to end up with knee replacements before you have your midlife crisis. And I thought, yeah, I kind of need to stop that. And then reenactment came along, and woodworking came along at the same time. So yeah, very passionate about woodworking, and honestly, I can't see that stopping. I can only see that accelerating, to tell you the truth. Streaming, I really enjoy it. I do enjoy it. For a while there, I was very, very much, numbers and what are my numbers today? And nowadays, I'm just like, I'm just really, really trying to just ignore them and just turn the stream on and have fun with whoever's in chat. And if I'm talking to one person all night long, I'm talking to one person. If I'm talking to 40, I'm talking to 40. I don't care. I'm just, because I'm going to do the woodworking regardless. And people seem to enjoy watching the journey that I'm going on, teaching myself this wood carving.
So do you think that, or do you feel that the streaming, the motivation for streaming has changed since you started, and that it will continue to evolve? Or do you think that...
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No, it has done, because the people that I started streaming for, they no longer watch me. So,
that
yes,
happens. That happens. I'm in the same boat.
It absolutely has changed. Absolutely has changed. But yeah, the emphasis now, I would say, it's on having fun and just sharing my passion. People know me as the guy who gets really excited when, I've been carving away, and that first time you put that first coat of oil on, and all the grain just explodes through, and you can see all the patterns and the colors, and I get really excited about it. Yeah, it's, I don't know, Paul. I don't know. It's. I'm gonna turn that around. I'm gonna turn that around, and you need to answer that question, because it's one of those things that it's like when the only way to describe why I'm having trouble, answering is, it's like when you live in the same city the whole of your life, and someone says, "Do you know how to get here?" And you're like, "Absolutely," but you don't know the name of any of the roads. You just know how to get there because you've lived there the whole of your life. It's kind of like that. I do the streaming because I love it. I love being with the people. I love chatting away and having my little rants, and they have a little rant back and everything. I think the moment regardless of how successful I am, the moment I feel like I did when I was an accountant, and the alarm clock would go off in the morning, and I just felt this sense of dread of the oncoming day. The moment I feel like that, I'll stop streaming.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. And I think that with anything, it's good to have the wherewithal to know that feeling is the feeling of you need to change, and I think that that's good. I've noticed that since I've started streaming, that not so much my purpose in streaming, but the purpose in the viewers has changed. Like originally, when I first started streaming, it was more... Yeah. People were coming in because they were new. I was new. We were on this journey of exploration in the world of streaming and trying to find our way. So it was like being dropped off on a desert island, and you all get together to start creating shelter so that you can survive. But then as time goes by, some of them decide to walk into the ocean and never come back. Others have decided that the group that they started with is good, but they've created a clique, or they've created a group that they think that they can be stronger with, and so they move on and they go to a different part of the island. But then you find that even though the people that you started with aren't necessarily there all the time, you still have this connection, and you started to build a community, and you start to see that the community is larger and larger. And then you realize that there's actually bridges to other islands, and the longer you're there, the more people that you start to meet. And I think that's really where I'm at with it, in which, you know, the people that I definitely started out with have gone their own ways. And if I stop in on any of their streams, or if they pop into mine, it's like old friends getting together. It's the old high school reunion, that kind of thing. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like we know we like each other, but we have other things going on. We do. That kind of stuff. So I think it's very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course as well, there is, I know that there's a number of streamers that I watch on a regular basis that, and chat, please don't think this is a pat on my back or a pat on Paul's back. Swanee's been with us from almost the beginning of RSS and stuff like that, so she knows how much work was put in. But there's a number of people that they used to be in our chat every day, and now they are no longer in our chat. And it's not because we're not friends with them, it's because they are now streaming and they're doing really well and they're successful. And it's kind of, I really like the fact that I can go around places and talk to people and watch them stream, and it's a really awesome stream. And when they started, they were asking us for advice, even though, let's be honest, Paul, we knew sod all what to do. We were just the old guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
We were just the old guys, so people were like, they're old, they must be wise and know things. You know, they've got some white hairs.
Fake it till you make it, right? So
yeah, absolutely. But it's awesome seeing them progress and go on their own journey.
Absolutely.
And you're right. In your analogy of the islands, it is like a colony has been created and has moved off to another island. But rather than being combative, we're helping each other out. We started off as just a collection of tiny people coming together, and now there's this big community. And I've got my pool cushion. I have my pool cushion that I am resting my backside on. Your face is very comfy. I've now got my Timber T-shirt has come.
Oh, excellent.
I got to get my PP T-shirt. Obviously, I got to get a Swanee T-shirt. I got to get a John Albury T-shirt. Basically, as these old friends are creating T-shirts, I'm like, I want to get a T-shirt. It's kind of like when you're a sports fan and you wear your team outfit. This is kind of like wearing our team outfit, but the difference is our team are our friends.
Yeah.
And they're amazing artists and have great skills and stuff like that. And Psycho, now he's streaming. We need to have like a big ogre T-shirt or like a woolly hat with big ogre ears sticking out. That would be awesome. But it's quite interesting because you see some streamers and they seem to be very, very much in their own little bubble, which is fine for them. I'm not saying they're bad people or anything like that. But I don't know. We seem to. Yeah. It's different. It's different, isn't it?
It is. And I find that it's like really good with the creative community. I think the creative community, because creatives in general have a tendency to latch on to each other. We enjoy. We are very familiar. It's not familiar, but like a family. And so we are all. We have a tendency to stick together.
We're mafia-like. the family.
Yes, right.
You come here to my wedding.
Familial. Thank you, Swanee, for that correction. Yeah.
Yes, thanks.
So familial.
Excellent. We have the non, first English first language person deal in Swanee correcting us.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but as a familial bond, but you mentioned earlier that gaming was kind of where you got your introduction into streaming, and then you decided that you were going to stream, but you were going to do so via the creative aspect of it. Now I know, because we've been friends from the get-go, that you then ventured back for a while into the gaming world, the gaming side of it, which is, I would say, what Twitch is mostly known for, is the gaming aspect of it. Did you find that the gaming side of Twitch was similar in the familial bonds of Twitch as the creative side was, or do you find that it's a different beast altogether?
It's absolutely a different beast. Absolutely a different beast. With, I mean, on a side note, I mean, people know that. Some people know that haven't been very well. I've had long-standing clinical depression since I was 14 years old, and unfortunately got hit really hard recently this year. And people know that I've got rules for the workshop, because when you've got when you're using an axe or a knife or something like that, the rule is don't be an idiot. There isn't a big red safety button on the side that you can slap and it stops everything. It is, make sure you're concentrating. So I've got rules of no alcohol. Even if I'm legally allowed to drive, I've only had a beer, so I'm legally allowed to drive, but I won't actually let myself in the workshop. I've been bitten by the tools in the past and been badly cut, and I know how bad it can go if you're not concentrating. So I wanted to continue streaming, but I was mentally in a really, really bad place, and emotionally. So I went back to, I started doing some gaming streams. And at first it was great. I will admit it was great. I was the new guy. I flew under the radar. No one knew me. I just was there to tell stories. What happened was, as my reach kind of grew out, as I started to get to know people, there started to be thank you, Queenie. There was politics and bureaucracy that started up. For example, Paul, we spoke before saying that when people that we helped set up their streams, when they are successful, we are happy for them. We're proud of them. We want them to go on and be even more successful. We're not jealous of them. It felt completely the opposite. It felt, oh, you're getting along, but you're not part of my clique. Therefore, I'm going to rip you to shreds. Whether what I'm saying is true or not is immaterial. And unfortunately, in my real life, I have had people that have found out about my, depression and stress and stuff like that. And they basically treat me as if I'm a sociopath or a serial killer, because they don't understand the fact that your brain is an organ just like anything else in your body. And if it doesn't get the right vitamins and minerals, it goes wrong. It's as simple as that. So, stuff started happening. And I was openly attacked. Not my character. I was attacked and called some disgusting words, to the point that this person was reported to Twitch 5 times from 5 separate people over the incident. I don't think anything happened. I think maybe they got a slap on the wrist. and so, but that's how far it went. Do
you feel that? So you're saying that it's definitely a different mindset as far as like it's more competitive as opposed to supportive.
If they can stab you in the back and climb up the knives like a ladder, they will do it.
Now, do you think that's because gaming, as far as viewership goes, is a lot harder to attain? Or, a viewership via gaming is harder to attain than, say, having your own take as a creative on a process and such?
It's different though, because I wasn't, as people know, I was in the roleplay community, and role players classify themselves as basically digital actors,
right.
Which is true. I mean, you've done role playing, Paul. You kind of know how it is. But they started acting like they were Hollywood stars. Oh, you're missing the purity of roleplay. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. And it's like, I'm telling a story. I'm telling a story to 15 people that are watching me on a computer website called Twitch. What are you talking about? The purity of roleplay. It's not like I'm trying out for the Royal Shakespeare Company in Stratford upon Avon. And Paul, it got silly. It got silly, and it got extremely personal. It got horrible. It was not nice.
Right.
It was completely, literally, I would say it was almost the polar opposite of the creative community. Almost the polar opposite. It was that bad.
Now, my background's in theater and
theater.
And
theater.
I've had a fair long time dealing with actors and people in the industry, not just in theater but in film and television as well. And I would say that the majority of those people are just people, and they're just doing the things that they do.
Yes.
And that occasionally you're going to find the bad seeds, and
yes.
and that there is a tendency for some people to view success in others as a should have been me kind of situation, and there's some bitterness that might be involved in that. But so pulling back from that a little bit, you're back now into the creative side of things. You're back in the shop. You're carving your wood.
Yep. Wood is getting carved and getting oiled and rubbed.
Now, but have you found that the people that you gamed, that watched you game, have then decided to venture over and check out this weird creative side of Twitch as well, and kind of found something new to see and watch? Or did you find that viewership, the gaming viewership, was like, no, we just do games and then we're out? Two people have decided to stick with you there. Okay, but then,
and funnily enough, that's because we became friends. We role played together. We became friends, and they now stick with me. And I stick with them on their channels. But anyone else, as far as just viewers, no. They literally stick to their tiny little corner, and that's it. They're not interested in anything else, which I think is a shame, because a lot of them were really cool people.
Oh, sure.
But if it's not, and when I say that their corner, if they are, let's say, for example, no pixel roleplay fans, they won't watch, or some of them are have so much tribal loyalty, they won't watch Rivalry, or they won't watch Space Turtles server or the Family server.
So you're saying that basically it's like people who watch NBC shows will only, or who are in NBC shows will only watch NBC shows, regardless of whether or not there's good shows out on other channels and such.
Marvel fans versus DC fans,
right?
And it doesn't matter whether there's a good storyline. it's got that Marvel label, therefore it's not good enough. Rather than having an open mind and just saying, is it a good film? Is it a good story? And forget who else it's come from or whatever. But yeah, it's interesting. It was definitely an eye-opener. It was, as much as it was tough, it's also one of those things in life that really, really lets you know who your friends are.
Gaming does?
Really
Or gaming streaming?
Not gaming. The experience I went through with the gaming and the streaming, it definitely let me know who my friends were.
So you've been on definitely a journey of discovery in under a year. Now, do you think that is an accelerated journey of discovery because of the gaming? Do you feel that the anonymity between streaming viewers and streaming allows for a more unabashed approach to people's feelings, and so your journey of discovery was hastened by by people's hiding behind the anonymity of streaming? They can say the things that they wouldn't necessarily say if you were at a craft fair woodworking and they're standing there watching you. They wouldn't say those things to you.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people have said stuff to me, and then I've seen them come into my chat when it's me, and they realize this isn't some really small bald dude. He's over 6 feet tall. He's got real weapons, as much as they're blunted, but I know how to use my sword and bardiche and stuff like that. This is actually someone that's actually, I'm not a typical, I don't look like a typical gamer at times. I think accelerated, absolutely it was accelerated. It was discovery, but like a lot of growth in life, painful growth can also be some of the most positive growth. It kind of gave me a slap around the face of get yourself back in the shop, because that's what you love doing. You love working with the wood and carving and creating things. Get yourself better.
And I think that's an important thing to know and to experience. And sometimes that road can be really long, but sometimes and it's good that you personally saw that as a wake-up call, whereas some people can wander aimlessly through their path and then not know that that's where they're supposed to go. But when you've got it's kind of like in Game of Thrones when she was doing the long walk of shame, and then people are just sitting there yelling all the horrible things at you. You're like, I think I should change something because this doesn't seem right, like. So you're gonna do that.
Didn't we have a conversation like that, Paul?
Probably at some point.
No. Chat, I'm telling you right now, if you're having a bad time in your life, and you need, when you have friends that say to you, I'm the sort of friend that if you need a kick up the backside, I'm going to give you a kick up the back. I still love you, but I'm going to tell you whether you're being a dick or not. That is Paul. Paul called me up just to say, how are things going? I know you haven't been well, and stuff like that. And we were chatting away, and I was telling him all the woes that I've been going through and everything. And he's like, Andreas, stop trusting people like that. You don't know them. It's not like you and I, where we've created a friendship. It was like, stop being nice to everyone. Not everyone's going to be your friend. If they're going to be a dick, let them be a dick, but don't let them in your life. And I was just like, I was there ready to argue back. And I was just like, sitting in the bedroom, Paul's telling me off like a little schoolboy. I was scolded, chat. I was scolded.
I believe what I told you is that you can't, fuck them. You gotta quit caring.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to be more politically correct and more, PG But yeah, you said fuck them. And
I'll bleep it when I put it on YouTube. You know.
yeah. And Paul just said,
right, exactly.
Or maybe you should change it to cabbage. Whenever we swear, it just goes cabbage.
Cabbage, right. I feel that though, as a person, as a person, as a human being, like my wife would say I'm broken because I'm missing that part of me that cares a lot about things. And I see in like my children or in you that you have, what is that, the empathy, the thing that I'm lacking. And that
basically I got yours.
Sure.
I'm a typical Mediterranean, even though I'm half English, half Greek. It is blatantly obvious when you see me with my English family and you see me with my Greek family. It's so obvious that personality-wise, I'm Greek. I talk with my hands all the time, like an Italian. And, you know, if I'm happy, I've got big flashing lights on my head going, look, he's happy. And if I'm sad, I'm like, I look like Eeyore, you know.
I used to be called the little black cloud. That's what my friends in school used to call me. They're like, "Oh my God, here comes the little black cloud." Because I am, if I'm upset, or as I was talking to Oiled yesterday on his stream, and he's like, "Are you streaming your work on this printer that you're trying to fix?" And I'm like, "No, because nobody likes to watch Angry Dad." And he's like, "What's Angry Dad?" I'm like, "The little black cloud," because nobody wants to see Dad angry, and because then they're like, I feel like I should leave. You know, nobody wants to see that aspect of streaming. I mean, I should just have like an angry stream, but I think I would bring in the wrong people, and as I've told you before, you know, you don't need that in your life. You know, we're men of a certain age in which that politic is no longer necessary to do the things that we need to do to be successful. I think that, you know, much like
are
me
you
buying...
basically saying we've already proven ourselves?
No, I just think that at a certain point
we
in
don't
your
need
life...
we don't need to chest beat.
Right. You are who you're going to be. And if you're willing to change, you change for you. You don't change for others. And I think that's really where the difference comes. Like, I'm at a certain age now that if I won't wear shirts that are itchy, because I'm of a certain age that my clothes should feel good to wear, and I'm not trying to prove to anybody else that I can wear, you know, I'm not that kind of thing. Yeah. So it's like, I'm just of that age. Why go through that hassle if I don't need to? I've earned through age and wisdom the ability to say I don't want a scratchy shirt. And I think that is the same place that you need to be as far as your work. Like, you don't need someone to tell you that the work that you do is good. Because as a woodworker, you spend the time and the effort, and you see the product. You feel the product with your hand. When you're rubbing your hand across a nice, finished, planed piece of wood, you know instinctively, I've done good work here.
I've got good
when you're
wood.
oiling that wood, buddy, you know it's perfect. Now,
and just as Mr. Miyagi said, wax on, wax off.
That's right. So, but I think that with streaming, you find a tendency to want to. My music completely stopped here. Let's try that again.
Was it the jazz though?
It was.
You can
the
stop
jazz.
that.
No.
I can't hear it, so that's fine.
Yeah, but I think that with streaming, we're opening the door to anybody. We're saying, hey, I don't know you. Come on in. Now, through the anonymity of the internet, chastise me. Berate me.
Chastise? What? Is this some sort of S&M thing?
No,
come
it's
in.
not.
Chastise me.
Chastise me.
Jeez.
I want you to
Whips
come
are in
in.
the corner, chains are over that side, leather's over there. PVC's just drying off on the rack in the corner there.
I think that it is...
Wow,
but the people that come in, I would say, like, you've had people run and gun into your stream. They've come in and said the most inappropriate thing because that, and I've had it happen too, and people have told me, you just have to be used to that because that's just how it is. And we've both been like, not here.
You and I just go, fuck off.
Exactly.
It's literally, it's like when I was streaming in the shed and some guy came in and said something offensive about, excuse me, I think it was Chinese or Asian people, and you were just like, literally, my eyes only just registered the message, and you'd already banned them.
And I was on my way out of your stream. I'm like, I gotta go. No, you know, and I think that is where we're at. And while we are open and welcoming, and you are as well in your shop, you're in there and you're working, and people come in and they can ask anything that they want, and it doesn't have to be like PG. It doesn't have to be the most child-friendly aspects of it. But when they come in, you know, feel free to talk, feel free to have some fun, feel free to do all that stuff. Don't be a jerk. And the nice thing
is why I've purposely, when people go into my chat, I've purposely got rules there that are really open. A lot of places say you can't discuss politics, you can't discuss religion, you can't discuss this. And I'm like, yeah, you can discuss a lot of it, but you better bloody well, if you start that conversation or join in, you better bloody well be an adult. Because if you're not an adult, you're gone. I think there's too many. Small child.
Yeah, we're not in the middle of an interview or anything.
I'm not in an interview. There are too many people that are. If you disagree with them, it means that you're wrong or they're wrong. No, it means you disagree with them. That's all it means. And being an adult, let's be honest, an educated adult, a wise adult, is about being able to disagree with someone and saying, no, this is what I believe, and these are the reasons why I believe that way. Now, why do you believe your way? And you discuss it. It can get heated, and at the end of the day, neither of you may change your viewpoint, but you walk away from each other, understanding each other better. Your mind has been opened up. You're seeing different possibilities. And excuse me, I'm literally, Paul's trying to give me an interview. Can you calm down?
No.
Respect, my friend.
And that is why I spend so much time in the woodshop chat, because my kids don't care about me. But yeah, and I'm that way with my kids. You know, if you're old enough, if you're mentally old enough to formulate a question in your head and ask it, you're probably mentally old enough to have the answer.
That's an interesting way of looking at that, because my kids have been asking me some really interesting questions lately.
Paul, send them my way. Send them my way. I mean, that's not to say you give them it unvarnished and you give it, you know, raw and, you know, to the bone. You cater it. You use the correct words for their level of understanding. You know, if kids, you know. Get lost.
Hello, Think 3. I think it's Think 3. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I've had all sorts of conversations with my kid, and it's really good fun.
Yeah. So, so I think that as a streamer, as we're going down this line, I mean, then that's really what we're trying to do, is trying to like bring this back down to, you know, how it works with streaming and such, is that as a creative, you're finding the community to be more familial. You're finding that the gaming aspect is a different, but maybe necessary beast. I find that with like gaming, like I haven't gamed in like 15 years. And then I started streaming, and everybody's like, you need to start gaming more. And I'm like, I used to like it as a kid, but then like I grew out of it for a while, and then I'm coming back to it, and I'm enjoying it.
You said WoW sucked you in pretty hard, didn't it?
It did for a while, but I found that playing World of Warcraft was like my depression, because I wasn't busy enough, that I'm like, I need something to occupy my time. And so I would go, and all I would do in World of Warcraft is mine. So I'd go out there and I'm like, I gotta go mine today, because it was giving me a job to do. It served zero purpose.
Spend 6 hours going click,
click, click, click, click, click, and then fly off to the next node. Yeah, and I found that as a gamer, now I'm finding people are like, we should game, and I'm finding, for me, I game because I want to be around the people I'm gaming with. Mm-hmm. And it is an opportunity for me to hang out and laugh and enjoy that. Not so much for me to game, to play and accomplish something. You know, because if I want to accomplish something, I will work on stream. If I want to have fun and just kind of hang. And that's the nice thing I've noticed about Twitch is that, like, you're in England right now, whereas I'm in the States, but we can still have this one-on-one conversation, and we're in America land, and I think that it's great that I can sit and have this conversation with somebody that's across the world. We can play a game, we can just kind of hang out, whereas before streaming, I don't think that would have been a possibility. And so it's as wide as this world is, the streaming aspect allows it to become smaller and smaller.
No, absolutely, and it's quite interesting. Have you looked at your demographics? And
I should do that.
You know, it's quite interesting because you look at your demographics and you're like, wow, last night I had 3 people watching me from like Russia. You know, do you know what I mean? And then you then suddenly you next day like, oh, someone's watching me from Indonesia, and it's like, it really does. It makes the world smaller.
It does, absolutely.
And as we as old wise men have said, you know, there
I said
are good
old, and I
parts
said
of
nothing about wise. So
no, this is me trying to make ourselves look good.
Sure, we'll go with that.
There are crappy parts of the internet and good parts of the internet.
Sure.
And just like with Twitch, there are some negative parts of Twitch and other positive parts, and same with the people. And, you know, to be having these chats and these little get-togethers over watching someone create something, and literally every single continent is being touched. It's kind of cool. It's kind of really cool.
So do you see yourself pursuing, because we both, and our group, our little island group of people, managed to get to affiliate fairly quickly. Now, I know that because of I did numbers, I did some research on Twitch, and the percentage of people who actually earn affiliate status is actually pretty low. It's less than 10%.
I know, and
it's
I was
actually
shocked
less
by
than
that.
2%. Okay,
because you and I found it so easy.
Yes. No. But I'm not saying that as like a pat on the back.
Thank you, chat. That's all you lot.
It absolutely is. But the question is now, are you pursuing the next step in that? Are you finding yourself wanting to pursue partner, or are you just happy being where you're at in the scheme of Twitch and creative and affiliate and just doing it hobbyist? Or is this something that you'd like to pursue full time? Cat just walked by.
Yeah, I bet your cat was more respectful than my child, though.
No.
No, okay.
He'll slam a door here in a second, so it's all good.
Look over his shoulder, hiss at you, and slam the door. You know what, Paul? Funny you say that. I was actually thinking about it last night, and it was... What was I watching? I was watching something, and they were quoting... Was it Einstein that said, aim for the moon? Or aim for the stars, and even...
But keep your feet firmly planted on the earth?
No, I can't remember exactly what the saying was. You know, aim for the... Whatever. Anyway, it's basically... Oh, no, it was on YouTube I was watching it. But basically, set goals that are...
Lofty, but attainable.
Yeah, well, almost no, actually not attainable. Actually, they were saying aim for a goal that actually is so stupid that people...
Is it shoot for the moon and you might just find yourself among the stars?
I think so, Biska, yeah. But it was basically, pick a goal that's so stupid that even your friends will laugh at you, and then work at it. And even if you don't hit it, you're still going to be so far beyond where you were. And I was thinking about it last night, and I was thinking, well, partner is an average of 75 viewers. I've got everything I need for partner now, apart from my average viewers. You're probably the same, Paul.
Yep.
Which is an average of 75 viewers without raids or hosts.
Mm-hmm.
And I am nowhere near it. And I was thinking, maybe my goal should be like 3 times that. You know, something stupid like, you know, well over 200 viewers as a creative. Purely because putting on a good show, putting on a good stream, I see myself as a little TV channel. I want to keep increasing content and making things better for people. But at the same time, I don't want to get obsessed with the numbers. I don't want my stream to be about me getting to partner. And thanks ever so much, chat, for watching me, but it's about me getting to partner. Not about what I can create for you. And I want to avoid that. But do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I understand what you're saying. The thing is as much as you don't want to concentrate on the numbers are important. And for me, I'm like, what do you gain out of the partner journey? And I'm like, I'm already there as far as except for being able to adjust my stream quality on the fly without them doing it. But I'm like, I'm so you know, I'm willing to pursue all the benefits of the partner status without them giving it to me. And it's like it's a hard road to travel to get to this partner status, to attain these treasures. Okay.
Yes.
It's like a long chain quest, quest chain. English is my third language. So you're on this really long quest chain. Can't even say it. But then
put your teeth in.
Yeah, right. But then at the end, you get a reward. Whereas I could just pursue those rewards individually. It's a harder path on my own, but to me, fairly more rewarding. And there's going to be a lot more monsters and challenges along the way. But I think that at the end, I might be able to, I think I'll get there. And then once that carrot is taken away from me, or I feel like I can get that carrot somewhere else, the number game evaporates. And I'm like, I'm just being the streamer that I want to be anymore.
Yeah. Do you know the reason why I want to be partner?
Why is that, Greek? Oh, we're going to get deep here.
Money. We are going to get really deep here. Nothing to do with money. Some people say that as a partner you have prestige and power. I want lots of crazy, stupid emotes. That's why.
Multiple
emotes. That's it. That's all I want. Yeah, there you go. Robo's got it. That's what I want. That's what I want. It's just I could see us having
the real prize. That's right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd love to have just lots of stupid stuff, and I think ultimately, whatever, let's say, achievement I get in Twitch is kind of immaterial. As much as I'd love to get to partner and beyond that, I just want my place to be fun. I want it to be a place people can come along and chill out and have a laugh and be themselves. And, you know, if they've got learning difficulties or social awkwardness, but they can come to my chat and be themselves. Sure. Why not?
So let me turn this around then, because obviously in that attainment of that goal, okay, let us say you've hit partner, you've got your emotes, you are now beholden to the lifestyle of being a streamer? Like right now, you have the option of not streaming this week because you're not beholden to a metric. Okay, so then do you feel that once you attain that goal, is the attainment of that goal is the baggage that is attached to that in your eye worth it as a streamer? Then, or is that something that you won't know until you get there type of situation?
Tell you the truth, that I've already got the same baggage. In my mind, I've already got the same baggage, but I don't call it baggage. I've got a number of people that sub to me, and as you do, Paul, and I sub to people. And the fact in my head, the fact that someone has said, I value your conversation, your work, the effort you put in so much that I'm willing to put my hand in my pocket from the money I've earned and give it to you to help you continue this journey. And for me, that hits me right in the feels. It really does, because that's that for me, that means something. That means a hell of a lot. So, you know, why do I stream? You know, or on days that we've all had it. We've all had it where you're not ill, you're just worn out though. And you're like, you know what? I'd love to just put my feet up and watch a film on Netflix and sod the world. But you get your backside off the sofa and you go and stream. For me, it's the people that are supporting me, that believe in me, that believe that what I have to offer is worth offering. That means so much. And those days I stream for them because they believe in me. And I know that sounds yeah.
No, I mean, it doesn't sound anything. I mean, there's the truth in that. But there has been recently in the world, you know, there have been some streamers that are money making streamers, not necessarily in Twitch, sometimes in YouTube, and they have used the excuse of, I'm required to do this. I'm here. I'm a dancing monkey for you people, and so my behavior is because you guys make me have to be this way.
Yes.
And so, is that something that with age and wisdom, hopefully, you know that's it's bullshit, and that it's not true, or do you find that is absolutely the case? Is that you need to find a way to be the dancing monkey that people want to see?
I am those people that speak to me, those people that have actually come around the house and met me. I think
they know you're a dancing monkey. No, I'm just kidding.
they know that I'm a dancing monkey. Queenie is there with the organ,
right?
And I'm there with my little fez on and my waistcoat. I am who I am, okay? But with that comes the fact that, yes, I'm Andreas, I'm the woodworker, I'm the streamer, but I'm also dad, I'm also husband. And my kids are old enough to watch what I'm doing. And if I ever think that I'm going to do something that's going to hurt them or is going to cause ridicule to them, they know I'm an idiot. They don't mind that stuff and whatnot. But, you know, do anything that's going to affect my marriage, you know, that's where I draw the line. I'm willing to do silly stuff for people in chat. You know, it's part of the entertainment. You know, it's part of what we are doing to put a smile on people's face, and I have no problem with that at all. But as far as doing stuff that compromises my morals or my values, no. Love you guys to bits, but I'm not unconscious next to you for 8 hours every night like I am Queenie. and she's got a mean elbow, I tell you.
So, okay, so you're going to be you. You're going to be the person that you are, regardless of what the people expect. And I hate that word because they expect you to be, for those people who expect you to be stupid and to do the stupid things, they're not there on your side. They're there to watch the train wreck and the stuff that falls out from it.
Yes, and they absolutely, some people are, I pay you subs, therefore you do what I tell you to do. I
those
want
people.
to be entertained. Entertain me.
I've had somebody come in and say, if I pay you $60, will you do something stupid? Yeah. And, I'm like, show me the money and we'll talk about the stupid. But for the most part, they just want to see the monkey dance. But I don't know if that's necessarily a thing that we need to have,
I think also as well, that comes with the, because we're 20. We've kind of lived life. We've already had those kind of people around us. Some people may be streaming and they're all this and that. But when I've sat across the table from a multi-billionaire and had to say no to him, and knowing he's going to be pissed off with me, it changes your outlook on things when a teenager comes in and says, I want you to dance and I'll give you this. Sure. And it's like, whatever, piss off.
Now I'm trying to I'm teaching my children that right now, because I've got 2 of my 3 children who want to be professional streamers or YouTubers, as they like to call it, because they see people like, I won't say when, but they see there's the people that they watch, and they're like, I want to do that for a living because that looks like so much fun to do that. And I'm like, I agree, and I've had them both in front of the camera, and they enjoy it, but then they're like, when can I stop? And I'm like, ha ha ha.
Yes.
Ha ha ha.
Yes.
And there's the ticker, because you're like, no, the dance monkey until you can't dance no more, and then come back tomorrow and do it again.
Yep.
And that's the hardest lesson, I think, for my kids to learn, is that while it looks like these people who they love to watch are having the most fun, it's job, it's work, it's a time.
It is, yeah. It's sometimes it's like, we've all got our favorite comedians, but they're normal people like us. They're going to be having they're going to a gig and the wife phones up and the kids have been misbehaving and they end up getting in an argument, and he puts the phone down, and 15 minutes later he's meant to be in front of 2,000 people telling them jokes, laughing and having great fun with them, when inside he's pissed off because his teenage kid has just wrecked the car or whatever. It's sometimes it can be a little bit like that.
Now, do you feel that having children affects you as a streamer? I've actually got some guests coming up in the future on this show, and they are single. We call them dinks, dual income, no kids, or they are sinks, single income, no kids, and they are committed to the stream lifestyle. Okay, the ice cream's here. And I'm like, and they're like, well, you got to put in your 6 to 8 hours a day of streaming, and I'm like, well, I have children. I have small children. My kids are young, and so dad is my first job, and the streaming is the thing that I do when they're at school or they're at camp or whatever, and that it's the other thing I do. So as much as I would like to say streaming comes first, my family comes first. Now, do you feel as a dad that affects things, that because of and it's not a burden at all, but because you are a dad, or your father and a husband, that becomes, that responsibility trumps your job as either a streamer, woodworker, carer, whatever?
I must admit, and I don't know if you had this when you started, Paul, but because I think maybe because you've been in the acting industry, you were more grounded. But when I started streaming, it was like, I'm trying to create this professional stream. I want to get some good cameras and good mic and stuff like this. Right, kids, when I'm streaming, no one talk. I need quiet. You know, Queenie, don't bother me. Phones have got to be off the hook. And I got quite anal about it. And then it got to a point where I was like, hold on a second. First and foremost, I'm a dad and a husband. If people don't like the fact that I'm a dad and a husband and I'm streaming from home, they're really, really watching the wrong thing. They need to go and watch TV, you know, or go and watch Netflix, you know, where it's all professionally done. But the nice thing as well, and then it kind of dawned on me as well, it's also to do with the communities that we create. So I know that when I'm streaming, the regulars that come in, if they see any of my kids in the background or my wife and I need to turn and talk to them or something like that, no one's going to complain. They might tease me, but no one is going to have a genuine problem with me putting my family before the stream at that moment. And if anyone does have a problem with that, you're in the wrong channel and I suggest you move on.
Now, I want to jump into our future machine here, where we jump to the future, okay?
Cool. I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
No. So, our time travel machine, is it a TARDIS?
No.
Are we going for the DeLorean?
No.
Are we going for, you know, H.G. Wells' original, you know,
yes, the big spinning disco behind us. Yes.
Yeah, but that's only got one seat in it.
That's right. So anyways, you just hold on to the back, my friend. But no, in the...
so I'm holding on to the spinny disc, spinning around. It's like ultimate knife throwing.
So, but in the future, okay, I believe wholeheartedly that the television industry as we see it, the television and movie industry as we see it, is going to disappear as we know it.
I agree.
And that what's going to replace it is what we're doing right now. Is this slice of life, the grass is always greener, I'm going to tune in and watch Bob's life. Because while I sit here and eat my ice cream and smoke my pot that's now legal in Canada or whatever, but I'm going to go watch Bob and his life. And Bob's going to go to work as an accountant. And it's going to be interesting. And as a person, because we're all going to have our individualized...
No. Did you just say Bob's going to go to work as an accountant and it's going to be interesting?
I did. As a person, as a creator. You were an accountant.
I was a senior accountant. It's not interesting.
But here's the thing, like, as a person who...
No, shut up!
No!
Jack, who wants to watch me for 2 weeks literally crunch numbers and make budgets for people?
Me!
Dirk, you liar.
No, me, seriously.
Oh, you're
because,
a...
No, I'm not. No, because here's the thing.
Do you want to watch me get 5 years of ledgers, analyze all the spending, create spreadsheets, and then create a forecast depending on what HMRC is going to say for the inflation for next year?
Now, I would like to say, just for the record here, before this whole streaming thing started, before Ice Cream with Streamers, before my podcast about Tales from the Front Porch and all that stuff, I had this idea. Because I work in a metropolitan area, and I would go to lunch with my friend who works in the middle of this city, and I would see hundreds of people in suits pouring out of buildings to go to lunch. And I always thought to myself, because I've never had what you would consider a normal job, and I'm like, what the hell do you do all day? Like, you dress up, you go in and you do something all day. What do you do? And so I wanted to have a stream where I'm like, can I just bother you and see, what do you do, person in a suit, all day long?
That's it. You've all shot yourself in the foot. You've all shot yourself in the foot. That's what you've done. I'm going to do... It'll probably take me a couple of streams. I'm going to create some spreadsheets and invoices and stuff like that for my woodworking business.
Sure.
How about that?
I would enjoy that.
And I'm going to make you sit there and watch me do spreadsheets. You
But see, the thing
weirdos.
is, you're not. It's not making it. To me, it's interesting, and I agree. Gravehawk has said it's a different slice of life, one that I'm not accustomed to. I'm a creative. I've been a creative since I got out of high school. I have never had a desk job. My life has always been about making things or being in the entertainment industry and that kind of thing. So to see somebody who sits at a desk, like my podcast partner Dave, is a spreadsheet person. I don't know what the hell he does, but it's not, it's interesting to me because he starts to talk. He's like, you don't want to know about all this. And I'm like, I do, as much as you want to know about me creating shit from clay, you know? So like, I don't necessarily think that it's
I'm
bad.
going to do those streams in a shirt and a tie and everything.
Please do. Please do.
Double,
I would be...
Double Windsor, not chat. Not
Hey,
single Windsor.
Hey, no.
Double Windsor.
I did a double Windsor on my kid's Halloween costume yesterday, so I'm all about that.
I'm not going to shave off the face fuzz, but these bits, I'll actually properly shave them. I'll get like the cream out and stuff. Put some gel in the hair.
I think that in the future, that is going to be our entertainment. And as Bob is working his spreadsheets, people are like, Bob, what are you doing? What is this? And he's like, well, I'm getting these columns and numbers to balance out. I don't know what the hell they're doing. And it would be interesting. And people
it's called reconciling.
But here's the thing. As a creative person, I'm not trained in that. I mean, I am.
Yes, you are. Yes, you
am.
are.
But
yes, you are.
I just said I am. But I'm just saying, as a typical person, to learn.
Everyone is. They just don't know they do it.
Sure, just like everyone's a creative and they don't know they do it. You know, you still manage to eat. See, we're already learning something. That's what I'm saying. So as a professional streamer, Greek, right now, in your creative lifestyle here, I am curious as, do you see, because even though you may not become partner, you may not, I don't know. But, you know, if that is not in...
Who knows?
Right. If that's not necessarily in the cards, and you're continuing this for 5-10 years, because we're obviously in the infancy of this streaming entertainment world. And then when we go to the future, we will become old hats, because we'll be in our 60s and have had 20-something years of streaming under our belt on a daily basis of like our life as a streamer. It's... I think that regardless of whatever our status is as far as like who we are as streamers, we will be a frontiersman in the world of streaming, and that it would be interesting and something that, you know, a knowledge base that you're
absolutely.
So.
I don't, at this moment in time, I don't see any end to my streaming. What I want to do is actually do some adjustments on the technology in the workshop, so I'm less locked to that area in front of the bench. I might need to, you know, I want to change my mic and stuff like that. But basically, that would free me up to... I'm going to be, as I said, I'm going to be doing my woodwork whether I'm streaming or not. You've said it as well, Paul. You're doing your figures, your ring boxes, the amazing stuff you create. You're doing that whether you are streaming or not. And
it's my job.
Streaming... Yeah, exactly. So you're streaming as you know, to share it, but also to have someone to chat with whilst you're working. Well, you know, kids are at school and Lindsay's off at work. So as long as things stay fun, I can't see there being an end to it. But it's also a situation as well where I'm actually in a really, really fortunate position that Queenie, she has basically said to me, go do your woodworking business. I'm really lucky that she's done that. She said, go do your woodworking business. And she didn't say, you've got a year to get it into profit margins. Not just in profit margins, but we need to be turning over this amount a month. So I am in a really fortunate position to be there. So what I need to do is get better at the business side of it. And as much as I've been an accountant, I've never done a business, which is where I talk to you when I'm not ill.
So Gravehawk, he says, I see it quite differently than that. I see playing a game on my own and playing a game on stream as two completely different things. Now, Gravehawk, Gravehawk is actually scheduled to be a guest coming up here, and that is actually something that I want to talk to him about, because I believe that you're going to have two different personalities, one gaming live for people and the other is gaming for yourself. I find myself when I work on stream, I'm an outward personality, and I'm an educator. I explain more of my processes. I chat more, but to me it is trying to get my information out there. Whereas if I have the cameras off and I need to get through work, I am faster. I don't need to explain what I'm doing. I'm not educating or anything like that. It is a different game altogether. Now, the speed at which I work when I'm not streaming is astronomically faster than the speed at which I work when I am streaming, because I want you guys to catch all the processes and such. If I did just worked and just chatted, but did the work as fast as I normally do, not explain any of that thing, I think it would boggle people's minds, and they'll be like, why? But I'm all over the place, so I agree with Gravehawk on that one, in which there is two different versions of that on there. But yeah,
Gravehawk as well has been really clever, and he's created this personality. And I presume, Gravehawk, you've got a Stream Deck like Paul's got, and he's pushing buttons, and there's sound effects, and there's visual effects and everything, and it's really seriously cool. So yeah, when you're streaming on your own, you're not going to be doing that, and I've seen other people that have, who was it? Is it Double Eagle TV? He's actually got a paintball mask on. So yeah, I can understand with those things, that's very different. But from my point of view, I think obviously when I stop and show things to the camera, I wouldn't do that if I wasn't on my own. But things like where I get my head down and I'm just singing away to myself, I would be doing that whether I'm streaming or not. And I think one process I definitely don't do, and it was something we spoke about, Paul, is there are times when you've got a problem in front of you, and my natural process is to put the pieces down, actually physically step back and stand there, fold my arms and stand there for maybe 10 or 15 minutes and stare at it, and basically almost like a jigsaw, do the building and taking apart inside my head before I then physically pick it up. But you guys aren't going to want to watch me stand there motionless for 15 minutes, or my motion is, it's...
I agree. I've run into that just recently, where I sat and literally talked to the stream to work out the problem for 3-4 hours. And it wasn't until that night when I'm just like, don't care. I walk back in the next morning and I'm like, that's what I needed to do. And it was it was that moment. No matter how much I talk about it, no matter how much you don't see the forest through the trees type of situation. So I think that is, it's definitely a thing. I mean, there has to be a different personality as far as the streaming goes and such. But how much, yes, Dirk, how much of much work can you accomplish
Yeah.
quickly and stuff, and then how much of that personality of you is on versus off. You know, like I've worked with a lot of like A-list celebrities, like actual actor, people that you would be like, oh my god, that's a famous person type of situation, and I've seen them in crowds. And I've seen them.
Do you remember when you showed us around the shop and showed us the all the merch you got with the signatures? And I was like, oh,
right.
I was fangirling over you, fangirling over the auto. Yeah, it was.
But there is. I've seen those people behind the scenes when they're hanging out with other like people and they're in the dressing rooms getting in there, and they're just people. But they're definitely, you see like it go click, and they're like, hey, ha, ha, and it's the stream personality that comes out. I find that for the most part, besides the only difference in me at my streaming personality and my non-streaming personality, besides the amount I swear, is that I am quieter. I don't talk nearly as much as I do when I'm streaming. Like when I'm streaming, I'm constantly like chatterboxing away. Whereas if I'm just working, I can go 10, 12 hours without saying a word. And I find that that's it's different. I'm having constant conversations in here, and I'm talking to myself and whatever. But it's not anything that and it's really funny because when I took my stream to the zoo one day. And I'm walking around and I've got my camera and I'm showing everybody the zoo. And I'm like, hey, okay, so here's the monkeys over here. Oh my God, it's the red pandas. And I'm running up and I'm showing it. But then I'm like, take away the phone. And say that stuff out loud. Oh my God, it's the red pandas. Oh, look, it's the monkey. And you're like, you're a crazy person. You're not.
You're a crazy person.
Whereas I have this, like this camera here in front of me gives me permission to be the crazy person, but because I'm on. But as soon as the lights go out and the camera turns off, I need to go back to being this introverted, like, keep to yourself, be excited, have all those conversations, but keep them inside the cranium type of situation, as opposed to what we're doing here. So,
yeah, it's like I completely understand that, and anyone here who has had any type of illness where you feel you need to put on a face to the outside world, you'll know what I mean here. But because I've had depression since I was 14 years old, I've actually become a certain good actor at times. And apparently the only way to tell is my eyes. My eyes I can't get rid of the sort of the depressive, haunted look in my eyes. Something I need to work on. But over this period recently where I've been really ill, only a few people know, and I don't mind talking about it because I think people should talk about it. It's better if it's all out there. There was a point where even now I haven't left the house that much. I'm starting to push myself to leave the house, even if it's just to walk to the shop to buy a newspaper or whatever. But I hadn't properly left the house in 4 months, but I was streaming and I had a smile on my face and people were like, oh, great stream, you were so funny. And as soon as the stream stopped, I was just like, literally dead face, went to bed, shut the door, and literally just stayed in my bedroom and just cocooned myself till the next stream.
Right.
And that's, and I suppose we all have the ability to do that. We all have the ability to turn the stream face on and off.
Well, you have to. Yeah.
Yes, but when I am not ill, what you see is what you get. If it wasn't late at night, I would finish messing around with you guys. I would walk in here, and the first person I saw in the kitchen, I'd start teasing. Just like I do you guys. It's, and we've spoken, Paul. And I know that as much as you say you can be quite different, definitely with me, unless you're faking. Are you faking with me? My bum's on your face. You better be careful.
No,
But
no, I'm who I am, dude. You
yeah,
know
exactly,
who I am.
exactly. And in life, and you know, Psycho. One of the first things Psycho said in both of our streams when he found us, and Lefty actually, was what you see is what you get, and some people can't stand me. But I really like people like that. I like people that are, if I'm being a dick, they're like, Andreas, you're a dick. Sort it out, or I'm going to give you a punch. And I like that because I'm fed up of people that they'll say something and you've got to stand there for 30 minutes trying to figure out what they said, reading between the lines. I much prefer people to say what they mean.
Agreed.
Refreshing.
Yeah. As long as, well, I mean, to a degree. I mean, I agree with that, but I live in a very conservative state, and sometimes I don't want to hear what people think.
Okay.
There are some things. It's as long as you're okay to you can have those opinions. I'm all right with that. I'll question you inside my noggin.
Mm-hmm.
You can question me inside yours. But let's keep it there. Now, okay. So we've been talking for an hour and 40 minutes, which I think is great. But I think we're at that time where we need to start opening it up to questions. As I beat my microphone there, to questions of anybody. Does anybody?
Beat it.
That's right. Does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask the Greek Moustachio about woodworking or streaming or gaming or any of those fun-filled things? Is there anybody have any questions
Or
for them?
or medieval reenactment or
LARPing,
oil.
yeah, LARPing, yeah. And see, now this is where the stream gets awkward and quiet. So, but
Yeah, because they know that I'm raging at you. Inside, I'm raging.
that's right. So, okay, so we'll just continue having our conversation while you eat your soupy ice cream there. That's disgusting, by the way. Ugh.
No.
It'll
When
never
it's like-
freeze right again. So
No, I'm not going to freeze it again. When it gets like this, when it gets all sloppy, that's the perfect viscosity. That is the correct term. The viscosity is correct.
agree to disagree. Okay, so we have a couple questions here. What is the one most important thing you hope your kids learn from you?
To love unrestrained. When they find that special person, to open their heart and literally just pour it out. I think there's too many times that people, even with people they love, they restrain themselves, especially in countries like England where they're maybe not as emotional. But yeah, to love unrestrained.
Okay. If interaction is your stream theme and your goal is 400 viewers, do you think some people will feel left out? Do you think interactivity limits the stream?
If interaction is your stream theme, your goal is 400 views, do you think people will feel left out? I think it can be difficult, Gravehawk. Especially growing up in Britain, as you know, there can be times that there can be idiosyncrasies and stuff like that that are perfectly fine over here, but are considered rude or over the top or whatever in other countries. So I think the key to it is to remain flexible. To enjoy being with the people in chat and want to be with them, want to communicate with them. I think that's the well, it's what I'm working to at this moment in time. There are limits as well, because unfortunately, obviously, as we all know, when you've been raided and you've got a lot more people in chat than you're used to, and it's flying by and you're missing things. And I feel bad when I miss people's questions because I don't like that. I want to be able to if someone's had the guts to ask a question, I want to answer it for them. But that in a way that can be helped as well by having a really good mod team. Having mods who help you, who know your values, know when to step in and not step in, etc. If you miss something, the mods are there also to prompt you to say, so and so asked you a question or whatnot. That can help. It's definitely a force multiplier having a mod team.
Okay. What is the favorite piece you've ever made thus far?
The favorite piece I've ever made.
You've stumped him, ladies and gentlemen. You have stumped him.
I don't know if I can nail it down to one piece, but the favorite piece for myself, it's tough. There's my medieval spoon that I use a lot, and also the medieval trencher that I use that all the time. But also I've made a lot of stuff for Queenie for the cooking and stuff for the family, and seeing her cook with something I've made, and she will pick that over anything else. That is a nice feeling. It's hard. Oh,
That's a decent answer. I think that's a fair answer right there.
That's like asking which one's your favorite kids.
Oh, my middle one. I mean, no. Okay, so Ubiquity says... Ubiquity says, will we ever see you compete in your reenactment melees?
No. Not when I'm actually fighting. It's... Oh. Okay.
Obviously not from you, because you wouldn't have it, because that's not reenactment. They wouldn't have a cell phone or a video camera.
No, they wouldn't. Even if I found a way to hide it, it would be bloody hard to keep it safe. It would... I don't think I could afford the technology to have like a mini camera that I could properly hide it and actually Wi-Fi the signal out. I don't think I could afford the technology to do that at a good level. So I think the best I can do is when I'm not fighting, or maybe there's some weekends that what I can do is not, obviously I know where the good places are to watch the fight. Get some video footage for you, but I won't be fighting. Or get some video footage of training sessions where I can set the camera up so you can see everything. That stuff is possible. Also with the reenactment, I can walk around the site and talk to people that I know and stuff so you can see stuff and whatnot. But it would be extremely hard to physically get the electronic equipment on my armor in such a way that it's A, it's safe, and B, that it can't be seen by the public.
I think you're forgetting about a third person or another person who could film you doing this stuff. Like your kid or Queenie could.
It's
well,
not.
No,
the same.
of course it's not. It's not first person, but it's. I mean, the option is there for someone to watch you, watch you fight or reenact, but they would be, seeing it from a third person.
We've all seen Queenie's filming from the pub. We know what she's like when she gets a bit of cider in her.
All right, let me see. Sometimes I fear your guys' channel will get big because then... I fear your guys' channel will get big because then we won't know each other. I'll know... I always remember the little people. Because if it wasn't for me being able to crawl over the little people, I wouldn't be where I am. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are... Why would I forget anybody?
No, I mean, as far as that goes, Biska, I've had the people in my life that have got big and have been all... go away. I don't like people like that. I don't like people. I value loyalty and friendship above other things. So, yeah. I mean, even though my numbers, even before I got really ill, and my numbers were like really massive compared to Paul's, like properly gigantic. I mean, Paul was like minuscule. He was pathetic. He was rubbish. I mean, he was. I still stayed friends with him.
He did. He did.
And because of that, it's an important lesson that because of that, chat. Now that I've come back after being ill, my numbers are really tiny now. Paul's not, being mean to me.
No, I'm not.
I never.
I've allowed him on
bad.
my show as a guest. I've allowed him this opportunity, hopefully to boost his numbers. That's what this is all about. So
basically, he's taking pity on me.
A little. Okay, so let me see. What is the proper way to pronounce gyro? It's gyro. Okay. I thought they weren't working on bodies. Okay. That's what I said, gyros. With my quesadillas. Okay, could Queenie film it from the sidelines? Yes. Let me see. Any other questions? I think the whole point of reenactment is not to have anything modern, etc. Sod off, said Queenie. I'm not saying forget people, but don't spend as much time sort of one-on-one.
Oh, you missed Dirk. Dirk wants to know if we're going to do breakfast in December. Oh. Absolutely, Dirk.
Yes. Okay, good. Greek Desert Island. Nice. One food, one game, one track, one drink. Okay, so Greek, you're on a desert island. You have one food. What is it?
Okay.
Only one food. Pick it now.
Greek Desert Island. One food, one game, one track, one drink. Okay. Desert Island, one food. Gyros.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. One game. What game would you have with you?
One game. Oh, that's not fair.
Moussaka.
I think Tetris. Gotta love your Tetris.
All right. One track. One song.
One track. Seagulls!
And then lastly, one drink. What would be your drink? What would be your drink of choice for life?
My drink of choice for life. There's a Greek sort of lemonade-y drink called lemonella. That's very, very similar to Sicilian lemonade. If anybody's had that, that would be my choice of drink.
Okay, interesting. All right, fair. Well, I'm gonna let this. We're gonna wrap this up here. So, Greek, thank you very much.
Boy, I haven't finished.
We got to wrap it up, man. It's almost 2 hours. We've been chatting for 2 hours. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on this episode of Ice Cream with Streamers. And special thank you to my guest there, Greek Moustachio. Be sure to check him out at twitch.tv/Greek Moustachio. You can find me at twitch.tv/Paul Pape Design. So thank you again, Greek. I do really appreciate you stopping by today and giving me a nice little chat here. So,
hey, Paul, high five.
I lost my hand. All right. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time. And all right. So now that we're done there, thank you, everybody, for joining us. Join us next week, same bat time, same bat channel, for some more Ice Cream with Streamers.